Yeah. What it do? Yeah, it's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that ROD pod. For those that don't know who I am him, Junns the NBIC. And of course, I represent that ROD. Today is another episode of this ROD pod. I want to first apologize for my absence. Been doing a lot. Like I told you guys, I've been, working from work, other work, and then working out, trying to get my body right, my shoulders right. So I be coming home exhausted. But I gave you guys a post, told you guys I'll be on tonight, and I'm here. I gotta be a man of my word. And even tonight, I was exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was tired. I was reading. Matter of fact, I want to show you a book I was reading. Give me 2 seconds. Let me show you this book. Yeah, let me show you guys this book. Check this book out right here. Whenever you guys get a chance, I will be doing a verdict about this book right here. Definitely want you guys to tune in and watch this because it's a lot of information. It's a lot of things. I mean, things that me personally, I've been telling you guys for quite some time. But a lot of you guys, you guys needed to hear it from the horse's mouth because when I say it, you get a lot of people saying that I'm just in a state of anger or frustration or whatever people be saying. But in reality, man, I'm just bringing forth the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to talk about Agenda 2030. And not just talk about it, but try to figure out exactly what's going on when it's pertaining to this Agenda 30. And I want to pose a question to you guys. And that question is quite simple. You understand? Is Agenda 30 a global vision or is it global control? That is the $1 million question. Let me pop this up. Voila. So, shout out to the brother that sent me this. When I seen it, I instantly had to commentate on it. I was gonna do a quick Instagram post reaction or whatever you want to call it. But I said, nah, it's time for me to take it on to the big stage. Especially now that we have a new president in office where you're not demonized for the things that you bring forth, right? Supposedly, they're holding on to the freedom of speech temporarily, right? But why did I bring this up, right? Because the other day I gave you guys a live pertaining to the mass shootings that took place in Midtown Manhattan, double M's. I'll let you guys do that mathematical study, right? Mass shootings that took place in the Midtown Manhattan. And the question that I asked you guys is, what is the outcome of that, right? Now, I'm going to show you the outcome, and this is straight out of the press. July 31st, it came on my phone, and again, it justifies everything that I was saying. But for right now, I want you guys to look at Agenda 2030. As you guys can see, right? You see it says one world government. You say one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military, end of all national sovereignty, end of private owned property, end of family unit, mandatory, universal base income, microchipped tracked for all, world social credit system, thousands of 5G towers, end of private transportation, end of private farms, business owned by the government, travel restrictions, and restricted land use. Now, out of everything that you see here, there's a few of these things that's here right now that I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt is going on, right? Let's start off with the end of private transportation. Now, I don't know where you guys reside, but I'm speaking mainly for New York City. Here in New York City, there are tolls being installed, speed cameras being installed. And not only that, there are agencies that ride around at night looking for past due payments, whether it's easy pass, whether it's regular tickets, and these people are put in boots. Depending on where you at in New York City, they are also putting shields on the windshield wipers, on the windshields. Excuse me, I said windshield wipers, you hear me? They're putting shields, guards, because people in the Bronx was taking off the wheels, the tires, and like literally replacing them. So they said, oh yeah, so we put in this. Certain areas in the city, you're not able to drive through unless you make a payment. My brother, when he went to go pick up his I-8, he told me just to go from New York to Jersey cost them $40 going there and cost them another $40 coming back. That means that the average traveler from New York to Jersey, if you're not under this Easy Pass, which is one of the one world, which one was it? Hold on, I'm gonna show you which one. One world cashless currency. That's what it's under. If you're not under that, you are paying double. Guess what? Here in New York City, I'm born and raised. I've never thought in my life I would ever imagine me having to pay to cross the Brooklyn Bridge. It is a fee that we're paying now to cross the Brooklyn Bridge. It is a fee now we're paying to ride through, to get on the Manhattan Bridge. It is a fee, guys. It is a fee. And guess what? It's also a fee for you to even ride through 42nd Street. In Jamaica, Queens, which I call Jamaica Center, they now have terminated any vehicle outside of public transportation and corporate trucks, commercial vehicles from riding through that area. You're watching your freedom of driving being taken right from you. Let's take it up a notch. They put in speed cameras. Now, I remember when the speed camera was first installed, if you went over 50, you would have got flagged. Then it went down to 30. Now we at 25. It's only a matter of time where they're going to make it at 15. Some places where they might make it at 10. I've been telling you guys this for the last 15 years. From the moment I've witnessed streets like Nostrand Avenue, streets like Utica, streets like Rogers, and I'm speaking for Brooklyn. I don't know where you guys live. I'm only could speak for what I know. Streets like that once used to be wide enough to fit three vehicles are now subject for one vehicle and the other side for the bus lane. And the reason for that was people was always going to work late and they needed a service lane strictly for the buses so the buses can drop the people to their jobs on time. That's what we was told. But in reality, that's not what it was. I told you guys what this was. There was an old lady. She was a Jewish lady that, escaped Nazi Germany or whatever you want to call it. And she said, what you guys are seeing right now was the same thing she saw when you start seeing them regulating driving, when you start seeing them taking away things that you did freely. Just know this is when the tyranny is going to start kicking in. And when my man sent me this, I said, damn, these people are making that way to the process. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I meant to show you guys this too. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Right here. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. I meant to show you guys this too. Like I said, me just rushing, trying to come on and do things accordingly. Sometimes it be slipping my mind. But I want to show you guys something. Hold on. Bear with me as I put this up for you guys. All right. And this is fair use, YouTube. Fair use, okay? Do not come here to come bother me. Leave me alone. Let me just do what's right. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me just do what's right. That's the sound of the police. Look, now it won't let me pull it up. Let's try it again. Yeah, see? Oh, is it this right here? This is it right here. Check this out. This is it right here. Just in case, YouTube or Facebook, because a lot of times when you start talking about stuff like this, they tend to say that you be wilding and want to hit you with going against community guidelines, et cetera, et cetera. And I told you guys that I was going to bring forth this new segment for the ROD, and it's called Deconstructing from Hip Hop. Yeah, oh yeah, well, it's over for rap. Oh, it's over. And I'm gonna show you all the evidence to prove why it's. But the reason why I didn't do it is because when I seen this, and there's a lot of other things that I want to talk about too, but being tired and all that, definitely no excuses. But I'm just telling you, I be exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that young man anymore. I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? Coming home tired, especially the line of work that I be doing. Be tired, whether it's driving, doing services for customers. It's just a lot. And when I get the opportunity to relax, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the Wiz because she makes sure that I come to a cool, calm, peaceful home. Food is done. My son is good. My other son is good. My daughter, like everybody be good. Where all I have to do is just relax and focus. And I took the time out reading this book right here. You see, so much stuff in here. Reading these books and still doing research as I try to break us out of this matrix that we are in. Whether you believe it or not, guys, we are in a matrix that we refuse to get out of. And because of that, this is why you see the things that you see now. Okay? This is why you're seeing the things that you see now. Because we have lost our way. We started believing into the myths instead of the facts. We want to believe a story that was told to you, forced upon you. Okay? Religion was forced upon people, guys. And every time I tell you guys this, a lot of you be offended. And you are only offended because you are only upholding and defending what you was told from young. The Bible said, train up a child from young, so when they get old, they will never depart. So when a parent or a mother or father initiates their child into this ideology, right? Convert them into this ideology. And yes, this comes through what you call baptism. Especially if you are a Catholic or a Christian or whatever, you do some level of baptism. That's the initiation that you give your child. This is the giving your child up to Moloch. Okay? The Biblos is the god of the Molochs. And I got all the intel and I'm going to save it for Saturday. Even Saturday in itself, Saturn Day is worship of Saturn. Okay? It's not a coincidence that they made the seventh day Saturn Day. Okay? Okay? Remember who created these ideologies. And the people that's creating the ideologies come from this very bloodline right here. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull this up for you. Let me hide this. Remember, people, the people that come from this ideology that gave you these so-called religions.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population.
Hold on. I'm going to play this for you. And shout out to my brother Matrix. The Matrix is real. Shout out to him. Okay? Let's run this back. Are y'all guys ready? Check this out. Listen.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope.
Did you guys hear what he said? He said, one way or the other, this will come back down. We're going to play it again. Let's let it finish, and we're going to run it back again.
That it can occur in a civil way.
We cannot hide away from human population growth because, you know, it underlies so many of the other problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Did you hear what he just said? We're going to run the tape back one more again, just for those that's tuning in, that's just coming in, just for those that's having doubts. This is for those that's questioning what's being displayed from me or from others, what you guys will call whistleblowers or conspiracy theorists. This is him saying it. Let's run it. Let's continue.
We've got to stabilize the population. Why we have global warming goes too.
I want to do a quick correction. Ted Turner. That's not why we have global warming. We have global warming because you guys are digging down the grounds, taking resources without cause. Okay? You guys are trying to be God. All right, you guys are putting all these buildings that need heat. You're preventing the sun from naturally shining on areas. You got concrete on the ground, which is what? Which is a substance. When it gets hot, the evaporation goes up into the air. Okay, that's not how it was back in the days. We used to walk on grass. It used to be dirt. The earth was filled with dirt. When you start putting the concrete, this is what started happening. You see, these people don't like to hold themselves accountable for the sugar honey iced tea that they do, okay? This is why we having global warming. All these new cars, okay? All these new cars that don't need to be made. Some of these cars are made and sit in the lot for 3 to 4, 5 years before anybody even want to make a purchase, okay? Now let's talk about the electric cars. You think all that radiation. Let's talk about the 5G towers. That's radiation. That takes a lot of heat absorption. You ever touch your Xbox, your PlayStation? You ever touch your iPhone? You leave your iPhone in the sun for a long period of time, it tells you it overheats. Not to mention the overcreating amount of so-called cell phones. Okay? But let us continue.
Too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
You brought up some issues that others are reluctant to bring up.
Always. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls. I want less on the planet.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague. We are the cure.
Now, for those that don't know what was being said when he said that, when he says human beings, whenever you hear the term human beings, I'm going to give you a gem right now. Whenever you hear the term human beings, they are talking about black and brown. Let me say that again. Whenever you hear the term human beings, they are talking about black and brown. And as you can see, this man was talking to Lawrence Fishburne. What is his nationality? What is his origin? What is his race? See, you guys don't, oh my geez, you guys are not paying attention to the manuscripts. But my job is to give you the manuscript, okay? Let's play the video one more again, guys. Come on.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way.
We cannot hide away from human population growth because, you know, it underlies so many of the other problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
so what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
You brought up some issues that others are reluctant to bring up.
Always. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more.
Do you guys believe this to be for real? Or you think this is just another conspiracy theory? Do you guys believe that this will happen? This will all come into tuition? Or this is just another scare tactics, fear mongering, whatever you want to call it, to keep us in a state of, I guess, confusion, delusion? What's your thoughts? Listen, I'm just the messenger at this point, man. Forward, that's gonna be clipped for you, especially where everybody who ran to the nearest, you know what, to get the, you know what, you're no longer under the so-called constitution. You're no longer seen as a true word, human. True word, human. You have become a transformer. The bill is out. I gotta dig through my archives to find this. I gotta dig through my archives to find this. Like, I got these things for days. You know what I'm saying? I really gotta dig through my archives. And the privately owned property, they're doing that right now. Everything. They're buying up all this land. They're forcing people into foreclosure, making it hard to pay the rent, pay the bills, pay this, pay that, where you're gonna have to give up what you built. Unless you part of this club, and I'm talking about the millionaire club, if you're not part of the millionaire club, anything that you own and you have possession to, they will take it. You're seeing it now. You're seeing it now where you're not owning absolutely nothing, right? Now things are subscriptions. You're not buying to own. But like, yeah, we'll give you, you could hold this for a year. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Everything now is going down that path. Subscription. You don't own nothing, right? What else? We already know about the family unit. You see what they doing now. You see what they teaching the children in school. You see what they doing with the black man and the black woman. You see that. They clipping all of that. Okay? You seeing how these Europeans is openly accepting their child to be fishermans and transformers. Okay? All right? You already know about the mandatory. You guys had that just 3 years ago. Right? They made sure that your unemployment came to an end before they unleashed that. Okay? Universal basic income. There's a video where Elon Musk came out and said, yeah, man, we're gonna have AI robots doing the basic means of jobs, and humanity will all be subject to a basic income. And that basic income is going to be tied to what? It's going to be tied to the world social credit system. So there's going to be a time where somebody like myself come on talking like this, you're going to get clipped. You think I'm lying? Let me show you. Let me pull this up for you. Just for those that think that I be lying. Hold on. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull this up for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on TikTok. I know if one place is going to have it, definitely going to be TikTok. Bear with me, guys. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Let's share screen right here. There we go. All this is on the fly, by the way. You heard? On the fly. We don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm wildin'. I don't want to hear none of that. I'll play it for you right now. Check this out. Oh. Check this out. Mic check, mic check. I don't think you guys was able to hear that. Hold on.
For scores 1050 and over, ranked as AAA or AA, you get benefits like healthcare priority, free healthcare checks under the age of 64, and get to reap the rewards at the top of the social hierarchy. Now for scores between 960 and 1029 points, ranked as A+, A or A-, your kids get priority for certain schools, and the government can also give you the privilege of becoming a model citizen for the rest of society for publicity. School enrolment depends on model citizen status, and you will get preferential care and treated better in employment with preference over other candidates that apply for the same job. Scores between 850 and 959, ranked as B, are locked into that rank for 2 years with the obligation to have lectures on how to be a better citizen with visits of government officials and experts. You are essentially subjected to re-education. C rank, scores between 600 and 849, are locked into that rank for 3 years before you can move up rank. Government visits and inspections are routine, and you will be kept on a list where your information will be stored by government officials to keep tabs on you. You cannot receive welfare, cannot win awards or honours, and cannot run for political office. The lowest rank D, for scores below 599, are seen as the lowest of the low. Regarded as untrustworthy by the government, you are locked into D rank for 5 years before you can rank up. You're publicly blacklisted and revoked of all titles and qualifications you've obtained. You're subject to lose your job, government funding, and travel ability. You are rewarded or penalised depending on the actions you commit that the state defines as good and bad. For example, talking negatively about the government or an official on social media will have you lose a lot of points. Any sort of political dissidence is penalised by the CCP, and they will be sure that you know your place when talking about them in such a way. The government will do whatever they can to get rid of you and silence any criticism of the status quo. Baseline for each citizen is 1,000 points per person, in which the government gives so there is a constant equality amongst its citizens. The scores are part of a tiered rating system.
So, this is not me. This is not me talking out the, the top of my you know what. I'm telling you. This is what we dealing with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how we're dealing with it right now. On social media, whether it's on Facebook, TikTok, whatever, you go against their so-called community guidelines, you end up being suspended. Some suspensions last 6 months, others last a year. Anything over that, you can get your account permanently terminated, where you have to start from the beginning. Okay? I want you guys to understand what we're dealing with here. Especially the reason why it's not in full effect in America is because of the Constitution. How do you remove people from the Constitution? You gotta first issue a you know what. You must first cause a you know what. Certain videos I can't play, especially on YouTube. I could play it on Rumble to a degree because Rumble has ended my life for certain things that I was speaking of, especially when I speak on it with such adequately and such, such vulgar and passion. When they see that and they see it's drawing attention, they turn it off. So when they see that, oh, he's not attracting nobody, they let it play. I'm telling you how the game works, bro. Okay? This is all about who is siding with the enemy. It's all about pushing their agenda. As long as you're pushing their agenda, as long as you're causing confusion, division, hatred towards, they're going to support it. But the minute you go after the root of the problem, you are ostracized, shadow banned, blackballed, the whole nine. Trust me, I know. But for you, that's on this type of time, you got no choice but to keep doing it, because the ancestors, the creators, and all the AKs worldwide will wake up and we'll see this before it's all over. You see, before these people do what they do, the ancestors must give you the 311, like, oh yeah, see that, and then you clip it. So I'm just saying, we already know about the 5G towers, okay? The microchips, the microchips, listen guys, the microchips is your phone. The microchips is your phone. The mark of the beast, whatever you want to call it, is your phone. And the name of the beast, which I can prove to you right now, is only Nero, The Emperor Nero. That's the name of the beast. Don't get caught up and misconstrued with all this nonsense that these people are telling you. I keep telling you, you have to start deconstructing from religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism. As a matter of fact, we should just call it deconstruct from the Abrahamic nonsense. You guys don't even know where the Abraham story comes from, where it was stolen from. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna save all that for the verdict. But with that being said, people, it's your brother man from the motherland. Came to you guys live. Once again, continue supporting, like, comment, share. If it's your first time. And for the Rumble, my apologies. Matter of fact, while we here, let me just knock this out one time, man. Let me just knock this out one time. Okay? For those that, if you ever dealing with some medications and you need some type of support dealing with arthritis, back issues, etc., all type of health conditions, please go to blockbusterhealth.com. Here's the savings right now. Okay, we're talking 80% off. All right. This President Donald Trump did what he did for y'all. You can have, you know, a fair medication fee, whatever. Do that. This is how I'm delivering it. You're straight like that. And with that being said, it's your brother, man. You understand? And I'ma holler. One.